Hello there, guys, and welcome back to Reborn with Michael. Today, I am talking about the great Neville Goddard again. And when I finally understood his secret to manifestation, it became so easy. Because, like many of you out there, we're affirming, we're visualizing, we're trying to make something happen. There are a couple of nuances to his teachings that I think get misconstrued by some of the Neville Goddard YouTube channels out there. So I want to break down a couple of them today, and I just really want to reiterate the truths here. Neville Goddard, a fantastic teacher. I also recommend you Joseph Murphy. Even for manifestation, Michael Singer, surrendering. When you surrender, you do exactly what Neville Goddard is actually asking you to do as well. So there's an interesting nuance there. Let's break it down today. If you like Spirituality Simplified, please consider like, sharing, and subscribing. I have a free Facebook group that's linked in the description. Also, I'm looking for 2 more people who are looking for one-to-one coaching this month. Check that out as well. I am going to tell you, we need to understand that manifestation is simply a term used for creation. We don't create what we want. You can visualize something all the time, but if you are feeling differently in your being, in your inner being, you're never going to actually see it come to be because you're double-minded. You're praying in 2 ways, is what they say. So I'm going to say this about Neville Goddard. When he said to ignore reality, this is the mistake that we make. We think, no, I need to visualize what I want, and anything that's happening outside of me, I just ignore it. So there's a fire there and I just walk past like nothing's happening. This is a really challenging thing that you're going to face, and you're going to end up pushing your emotions down and down and down until they explode in triggers of reactions. What I would rather that you see what he's trying to say there is you just give no power to what's happening outside of you. You don't let it deter you from your assumed feeling or the wish fulfilled. So if you are claiming absolute abundance and security, you need to make sure that you are not reacting or taking in lack, limitation, and all those things. Now, you are a human being at the end of the day. So it isn't about just ignoring it. Push it away, and then I'll never have to deal with it again. You're better off noticing that thing. Excuse me, I'm knocked the microphone. Noticing that problem and dealing with any reaction that's inside of you and letting it go by using Michael Singer's technique of observing, relaxing, and releasing. Now, the point is when I mix these 2 together, things that happen outside of me started to have no effect on me at all. So it became meaningless. So to ignore reality is the first thing I want to tell you. When you understand it's about making what's happening outside of you have no real meaning to you because you're so married to the idea of what's in your mind. In the Bible, it says the husband is head of the wife. That doesn't mean that men are more powerful than women. It's meaning the man, the husband, the conscious mind is in front of the wife, the subconscious mind. So it feeds it. So we must saturate our mind with the imagery and the wording and the self-talk of the desire that we want so that anything outside of us doesn't have space to come inside of us, okay? Then the next step isn't about walking around feeling so intensely everything that you want. Yes, I feel rich, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, no, I just have to accept that it is done. Neville Goddard, the biggest change for me is when I heard Neville Goddard say through his own voice, when did I say it was about feeling? I said it was about acceptance. And that was massive to me because literally the book's called Feeling is the Secret. So I was like, oh, right. The truth of the matter is it's the feeling of knowingness, not of elevated, high, intense emotions. If you are using feeling as the secret and you're going, I'm going to feel so excited about wealth, you're actually trying to add power to the omnipotent, to the divine. You do not add power to creation. Creation is done. It's already done. When I understood that, that means that all I have to do is accept for a prolonged period of time that which I want to see. Now, the more patient and divinely indifferent I am about the outcome, the easier it comes to me. So what is it that you actually want? Do you want 100K in the bank? Well, it's like you have the idea, You have the idea in your mind, you see it in your mind until it's a fact. Now, Neville would say this too. You visualize it until you feel the release of it. It's just done. Then you give no power to any circumstance outside of yourself beyond that. I do that by letting go of my emotional reactions around any subject. You can do it other ways, but if you just push it away and ignore it, you're going to only create pain in your life. My suggestion to you is to become so in love with the idea of your future and given so little power to what is going on outside of you. You don't ignore it, but you just don't embrace it emotionally. That there's nothing that can deter you. Now, if you just add this little salty, like Salt Bay, if I just start to season this little dinner of manifestation talk that I'm trying to tell you about, if you can find inner peace is when you're at peace no matter what's happening around you, right? Go aim for inner peace and you will be effortless in being able to stay true to your vision or staying in the wish fulfilled. Because nothing outside of you can deter you or emotionally draw you to the opposite nature. You see what I mean? And that's the most interesting thing. We have to remain in a state that is aligned to our goal. Now, I always say it like this. I've said it before, guys, but hear it again. How does a rich person feel? They feel no different to you. They still have problems, right? But they don't fear money. How does a healthy person feel? They feel the same as you, but they don't worry about their health. So I'm just telling you to find ease, peace, joy, and harmony. Then lay intention on top of that peace. I have to describe it like this if you're trying to manifest anything, guys. And this is engrossed within Neville Goddard, but think about it like this. My most favorite story of how to balance yourself and bring yourself to harmony is where Jesus goes onto the boat with the disciples. He falls asleep. So the conscious mind goes asleep. That's when we go asleep. Now the faculties of mind, all the emotions and everything, which is the disciples, start to run wild. There's a storm brewing. They start to get scared. They see the storm. They're fearful of it. There's something outside of us that is scary. Let's all get emotional. That's what they're doing. When the conscious awareness rises up, it goes to the disciples, it rebukes them, it says, what are you doing? Why are you scared? Why are you acting this way? And then they start to calm down. So that's what you do with the observation. Then Jesus, which is the Christ consciousness within you, your consciousness or your inner peace, Jesus being the Prince of Peace, puts his hands out and he calms the waters. The waters are the waters of your mind, your consciousness. Then you add this next step from a wonderful yogi teacher that I loved. He said, when you think of your consciousness like a lake, which is what we're described in the Bible, if there is a storm and it's brewing and it's going crazy, if you think of your intention like something you throw into the lake, you could throw a car in, a building even, and it will not make a massive difference to the stream of consciousness. But if you find balance within yourself, acceptance, Neville says, then when you could even drop a tiny little bit of dust, it's going to have a massive ripple on the stream of consciousness of life. So I see that with wonderful, brilliant manifestation. Find inner peace, calm the waters of your mind. That's like the state akin to sleep, okay? Then you lay a gentle intention without effort, which is the dust, and it will make a massive ripple. As long as you don't let the waters of your mind go crazy, it will ripple back to you and it will bring you the like thing that you have imagined. Your imagination will harden into a fact. This is what I know to be true. Are you ready to apply it to your life? Are you ready to change your life? Do these things and you will do it. I'll see you at the next video, guys. Thank you so much.